Martin Armstrong, the famous economist, predicts the collapse of the West like that of the Roman Empire. The problem for the US is that China is the largest holder of US debt. The famous American economist Martin Armstrong believes that the world as we know it is going through the last days just like the Western Roman Empire once was. According to Forecaster, his nickname, investors should have their eyes on the whole world, that is, the global economy, because everything is interconnected. A major bank failure in the US can adversely affect the entire global economy, he says. Also, times are very turbulent geoeconomically. How can you leave your money, hence invest, in a country where tanks roam its streets? How to invest in a country where assets are inflated? A lot of people are ignorant. They compare the situation in the US today to the great financial crisis, but then we had a natural bubble. The balance sheet was balanced, says Armstrong. Today, geopolitical risks abound. Ukraine, China, Taiwan, the Middle East. But the problem for the US is that China is the largest holder of US debt. They have dumped $53 billion in bonds in first quarter of 2024 and counting. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has tried to prevent this without success, Armstrong said. Asked about the issue of de-dollarization, Armstrong said that the BRICS nations have initiated proceedings to challenge the US currency, citing Russian sanctions. The biggest stupidity was the weaponization of the dollar and the expulsion of the Russian Federation from the SWIFT system, he said. Lagarde of the European Commission had started and Obama followed, and thus in 2019 Russia and the other BRICS members countries found an alternative to SWIFT. Dictatorships of this kind bring the end of empires. They bury them. Yellen and Biden are suicidal, he said. According to Armstrong, the migration crisis that exists is reminiscent of the last days of Rome. As Rome fell from the hordes of the Huns, so the Western nations will fall from the hordes of the Latin Americans, Asians, and Africans, he said. It is a mistake to think that immigrants will adapt to Western standards. If you look back in history, you will realize that the issue is cultural, says the analyst, and he adds, what helped America progress was not the common currency, but racism. Anyone who did not speak English didn't get on the ship to America, he said. Modern immigrants carry the culture of their countries. They are completely different animals from us. Even Ukraine and Russia have cultural differences, among other things, contributed to the sharpening of hatred. This is from Pro News. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.